Concentrate! Use your head!
There's a voice in the margin calling me late. Says you knew better than to chase that break, but I followed the volume like it knew my name. Now I'm stuck in the echo of a losing game. Shots are like cities I don't recognize. Every line that I drew just alibis for the nights I swore I'd finally change, but I keep waking up in the same damn trade. And I don't remember placing this bet, but it's open, it's bleeding, it's not closed yet. And I swear I had rules, I just bent them thin. Now the risk leaks out through my skin. I woke up in a trade I don't believe in, holding on to hope like it's a reason. Every day change just pulls me further out from the version of me that knew how to get out. I woke up in a trade I can't unwind, somewhere between instinct and a lie. And I close it all if I could just see straight, but I keep waking up in the trade I made. But I keep waking up in the trade I made. There's a rhythm to the way it falls apart, like a heartbeat syncing with the chart. And I trace every loss back to a choice that sounded a lot like my own voice. I said this one's different, this one runs, but conviction fades when the damage comes. Now I'm staring at numbers like they'll confess, but they don't say shit, they just compress. I don't remember where it went wrong, just a quiet drift that felt like strong. And I keep refreshing like it might change, but it's just the same frame in a different range. Up in a trade I don't believe in, holding it on to hope like it's a reason. Every day just pulls me further out from the version of me that knew how to get out. I woke up in a trade I can't unwind, somewhere between instinct and a lie. And I close it all if I could just see straight. I keep waking up in the trade I made. I woke up in a trade I don't believe in, holding on to hope like it's a reason. Every day just pulls me further out from the version of me that knew how to get out. I woke up in a trade I can't unwind, somewhere between instinct and a lie. And I close it all if I could just see straight, but I keep waking up in the trade I made.
Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to another episode of Oh Brother Productions, where I happen to be Oh Brother, and you are, in fact, the production. Folks, it is a beautiful Wednesday, April the 15th? 15th? I want to go with? I don't know. I don't really believe in the Gregorian calendar, but what I do believe is in warm weather and sunshine, and that's exactly what is on the docket in my area for today. So I am very, very, very excited about that one. Folks, the market's looking good. We're 0.5% away, 0.5% away from a new all-time high. Imagine if I told you that 2 weeks ago, that mid-April, we're going to be knocking on the door of a brand new record high. We are 0.5% away from a record, folks. Today could be that day. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. We have some interesting forces as it relates to volatility expiration at market open today. VIX contracts will be expiring. That always happens the Wednesday before the monthly expiration. So the monthly expiration is this Friday. That's where a bunch of your favorite equities and ETFs, the contracts are going to roll into the next month. We're going to go from April to May. But volatility does it 2 days before. So that is today. So we got to pay attention to that at market open. I hope you don't have on a position right now because there's normally, and don't hold me to this, but there's normally an extra amount of just volatility, range, movement as those contracts roll. And then obviously we set up for whatever the next grouping of contracts are going to be. So I'm expecting a little bit more of a wild market open than we typically see. And then obviously that's the setup for earnings, Trump updates, economic updates, and then obviously the monthly expiration this Friday. So on top of all of that, we do have some major news as it relates to Trump and China and Russia and Israel and I guess Iran and everything happening in between. So I want to be breaking all of that down for you as well. And please don't forget that we are in earnings season. So we're already hearing from the likes of most major banks. We're going to be covering those. A little bit of tech updates. We have some news on ASML, on Snapchat. We're going to be hearing from Netflix tomorrow. So for about the next, 5 weeks of our life, we are officially in earnings season. And the next 3 weeks particularly are going to be kind of noteworthy in how ridiculous they're going to be. So I hope everyone's ready for that. I felt like I was a little awkwardly low in my chair today, so my apologies for that. But I hope you're having a good one. I hope you guys crushed it yesterday. I hope you made 2 metric buttloads of money, and let's hope that Wednesday is even better. Actually, I'm pretty stoked about this one. Where is it? Right here. Nope, not that one. Don't look at that. You guys are cheating. Stop looking at the screen. The trade that I had in yesterday, it kind of played out exactly how we were talking about it in here. So when I left you guys, you had seen these trades. I got in actually 2 contracts. You could see my first trade there, almost 45 points, 46 points. The second trade, 31 for $620. And you could see on this little breakdown in the bottom left of your screen, when that broke down, I got out. That was locking in. And then I realized, this was a classic run-of-the-mill fake out breakdown, and we're going to pop. So right after stream, around 11:15-ish, and I streamed this the entire time in the Goonie Discord, I went long 2 contracts. And you could see I was in at 2,800 flat. I sold one at 2,900 and one at 26,000. So 100 points there, 200 points there. This was a 300-point trade, a nice $6,000. And here are the results. Right there, the bottom, 9K, obviously pretty easy to hit when one of your trades alone is 6K. Obviously, these were the only ones that I could run up. The other ones do have like consistency rules and other rules you have to consider. But the take profit pros, there is no consistency rules. So if you feel like you have a runner, you can definitely let it run. And that's what I did. And honestly, I know this looks a little crazy, like locking it in, it popped, it pulled back, and then what's happening here? What's happening here? Did I freak out? Did I not freak out? To be completely honest with all of you, the weather was so nice yesterday that once I locked this first one in, I put the stop to break even, and then I just left my computer. I left my computer. I put my stop to break even, went for a walk, grabbed a coffee, did what I wanted to do, and then I sold this with 5 seconds left to go. The high on the day yesterday was 26,003, so I literally only left 3 points on the table. So very, very happy about that. Obviously, these types of days are kind of rare. In fact, you see these big runner days about 10-ish% of the time. You see them about once every 2 weeks. Just so happens the last 2 days we've had them back to back, and once again, that's probably because of influences related to Trump, Iran, and what's going on with options. But very, very happy to be able to take advantage of that. And remember, sometimes the best thing you can do, and I guess I'm sharing this with you not only to brag, yes, obviously I love to brag, but remember, sometimes if you're day trading, just for your peace of mind, sometimes the best thing to do is literally to leave your stop wherever you think the best place to put your stop is and let the market do what it wants to do. right there. Like, I locked this in. I was actively paying attention, but that wasn't too bad. That was 11:15 to 12. So I sat here and then decided it was time to get some lunch. I locked that in, stop at break even. If I was sitting here, there's a good chance I probably would have panicked somewhere in here because like before, it was a little fake out breakdown. We took out some recent lows, but it just never came to my stop. And sometimes the trend does switch. In this particular case, the trend continued and I was able to lock in one of the biggest individual days. And what I think it's funny is right here. Show your payout, fucktard, and which is hilarious because you guys always see my payouts, but this just kind of proves that the internet is always going to be the internet. So I wanted to give you a recap on how that went. Of course, like I said, that was live streamed to the entire Discord. So if you want to be in there and hang out, where is it? Right here. GoonieTrading.com. If you want to trade with me, if you want to be in a cool community of people, if you want to use my educational material, it's all in there. GoonieTrading.com. Of course, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, come to the contact page, and this comes directly to me. Anyway, back to the market. Stock futures are little change as S&P 500 approaches its all-time high. As of yesterday's close, as I already mentioned, we are 0.5% away from a new record high in the S&P 500. How far away are we in the NASDAQ? The NASDAQ has a little bit more to go. I just want to double check that this is the high. So S&P 500 is 0.5% away. And then if you look at the NASDAQ from yesterday's close, we are, come on, why is this not working? We are 1.3% away. So getting very, very close on all the major ones. So look how quickly that changes. If someone was telling you this on March 30th, that in 2 weeks, you'd almost be at an all-time high, you'd be like, nah, I think you're kind of smoking something. Once again, like, look at how we are bouncing back. At one point, we were down 9.5%. We, in extreme, kind of hit that correction territory. And then ever since then, it's been nothing but a skyrocket to literal record highs. So that's obviously on the watch list today. NASDAQ logs the longest winning streak since 2021 as investors look beyond war. S&P 500 stands 0.2% from a record hit in January, folks. Bulls are back in control. Question for all of you is, are you buying this right now? Do you think it's going to go higher, or do you think we're going to have like kind of a double top type of a situation? Please let me know. And a lot of this obviously has to do with updates as it relates to Iran and the Iran war. U.S. and Iran give in principle agreement to extend truce. Okay, so we got some positive news at 6:45 this morning. At 7:12 this morning, Trump on Iran, Strait is opening. I wasn't really sure if he was the one that gets to decide this, but hey, comments from Trump himself. The U.S. has not agreed to an extension of the ceasefire. So this was at 8:04. So within 2 hours, we're just ping-ponging back and forth. Good news, bad news, good news, bad news, good news, bad news. Who's right? Who's wrong? We don't know. But no matter what news you want to find, you can find someone posting it out there. So really want to point that out to you. Trump hits at war's end as Hormuz standoff chokes oil flow. So he's been hinting at it since like literally the day it started. But for some reason, this time around, clearly the market is pricing in kind of the serious nature of these comments. Iran war very close to over, Trump says, and the stock market is going to boom. Once again, even though President Trump has said the war is very close to over, I want to remind you, he said that the very first day. He said that the very first week. So we're literally just like wash, rinse, repeating. But the difference this time around is the market is actually pricing it in that he's being serious this particular time. That's the big difference. Once again, this entire time when this was all happening, he was, it's almost over. It's almost over. We're almost there. We're winning. And this time he's saying the same stuff, but now the market is actually believing him. And it's not just in equities, even oil's quite a bit down. Not long ago, it was trading around 115. We're at 91. I think it gets interesting when it gets into the 80s. And then from there, I think it's going to collapse back into the 70s. The move from the 80s to the 70s, my personal prediction is that it's going to happen very, very rapidly. Because at that point, I would assume it's going to be happening on the backs of, oh, okay, like the Iran war is like legitimately done. U.S. and Iran consider second round of of peace talks. This is the hottest news that you might have missed.
Now, the U.S. and Iran are looking to arrange a second round of peace talks in the coming days, with one proposal to return to Pakistan. Bloomberg has also learned that Tehran is considering a short-term pause to shipments through the Strait of Hormuz to avoid testing a U.S. blockade. This comes as President Trump tells Fox Business the war might be over soon.
I think it's close to over, yeah.
This was this morning, by the
close
way.
to over. You know what?
April 15th.
If I pulled up stakes right now, it would take them 20 years to rebuild that country. And we're not finished. We'll see what happens. I think they want to make a deal very badly.
Joining me now from Istanbul is Bloomberg's Patrick Sykes, and from Singapore, Bloomberg's Wayland Soon. Patrick, I'm going to start with you. What do we know about the possibility of a second round of these talks?
Morning. Yeah, so Trump has mentioned that they could resume within about 2 days in Pakistan. That, of course, was the venue of the first round of talks over the weekend. I think it's worth saying this would be a much faster timeline for diplomacy than we saw the last time the US and Iran met, before the war, when we were looking at a round of talks every sort of 10 to 14 days. We do also know that other venues are under consideration, so it seems that Pakistan isn't yet a done deal. We don't yet know exactly where that might be, but we did have Switzerland yesterday saying that it was prepared to support the process if necessary. That's important, I think, because Switzerland, Geneva specifically, was one of the venues that these two sides met before. Trump also said overnight that he wasn't thinking of extending the ceasefire. So I think with that, with the clock is really ticking down to this time next week when the ceasefire is expected to end. If we don't have a deal in place by that point, then we can expect hostilities to resume.
I think he'll taco out.
Wait, let's talk about the Strait. We got an update from CENTCOM about an hour ago, and there they put out a statement saying the blockade of Iranian ports has been fully implemented. What activity are you detecting around the Straits, and what have you seen in terms of developments since the U.S. introduced their blockade 36 hours ago?
Right. So we are moving into day 2 of the blockade, and last night, the U.S. CENTCOM actually put out a statement saying that they have turned back 6 ships back towards the Strait. So this goes to show that they are trying to enforce the blockade, and as we've just seen, they say that it's a success in the first 36 hours since. And I think it's worth noting that this wasn't as hostile as I think many people feared, because we were thinking about the situation in Venezuela where the US enforced a similar blockade, but here we don't see them seizing tankers. Instead, they were being pushed back through the Strait. So that sort of puts a flaw to the sentiment, and from here on out, we can see how Tehran responds. And we still do see some ships going through the Strait, some US sanctioned ones, some legitimate ones, and so far passage appears to be relatively normal, even though it's still pretty down from before the war.
Dope. So things are okay. The TLD. Oh, Jesus, that doesn't look right. Okay, fixed it. I messed up one of my monitors. Things are not necessarily in a vacuum good, but we're trending in the right direction. And remember, the market is a forward-looking mechanism, so it's basically front-running this concept, saying, hey, we'll take on the risk that it doesn't go well, but clearly it's betting that things are going to go very, very well. In the meantime, there's still obviously impacts on the energy sector. U.S. crude oil trades lower as possible Washington-Tehran talks raise hopes for Mid-East peace deal. I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. I think when this starts to snap, when we take out the low, when we take out the 50 EMA, I think you're going to see a very quick capitulation of oil all the way back down to pretty much where it was. You do have a downside gap fill, which for those of you who are swing trading oil, I think that's a very fair target to have. Technically, it is 67.83. It is the high from Friday, February the 27th. Once again, this isn't necessarily a day trade, but like I said, there obviously are people in here who are swing trading. Look for the snap of the 50 EMA. Look for price to go below the cloud. Look for the break of the previous low. Look for the break of the next low. These are all going to be reasonable levels, but my ultimate target would be 67.83. And remember, if you're trading this on the futures market, every dollar that it moves from 91 down to 90, every dollar is actually $1,000 because of the leverage rate. So if you're riding at 91 down to 68, what's that, 13? That's $13,000 per contract if you're trading on CL. So just want to call that out to everyone. Trump Hormuz blockade risks showdown with Xi before summit. So this all kind of started off with obviously the craziness of Iran. Well, I guess before that you could say it was Mexico. Before that you could say it was Venezuela. And who knows what's going to happen next. Before that we were talking about Greenland. You never know. We might start talking about Cuba, but I think the next big country that we're once again going to be talking about is China. I think this is incredibly, incredibly important. Trump says Xi told him China is not sending weapons to Iran. So I know that's a little bit of a confusing headline, but Trump is telling us that President Xi of China told him that, hey man, we're not sending them weapons. Does he believe him? Does he not believe him? Is it real? Is it not real? I have no idea, but that's just literally what's being reported as of this morning. And don't forget, way before that, it was Russia. Russia offers China energy lifeline as the Iran war strangles global supply. So we are seeing another downtick in the growth of China's economy. And remember before this, not all of their oil, but they were getting a decent amount of oil from both Venezuela and Iran. Obviously, we have successfully cut that off. That's why I have the tinfoil hat theory that this entire movement with Venezuela and Iran is more so to give us leverage in these Chinese negotiations. Like I said, that's a tinfoil hat theory, but that's the theory I'm going to be running with. And I think we're going to be finding much more about that next month. Russia said it was ready to help China and others with energy supplies as the Iran war continues to dent global transit and supplies. Remember, not long ago, the decision of the administration was that, oh, okay, some of this Russian oil, yeah, you guys can now sell it, like no longer really enforcing the embargo that we were. Russia's foreign minister was in Beijing to meet President Xi Jinping yesterday. President Vladimir Putin is reportedly set to meet Xi just days after President Trump is scheduled to travel to China. So pretty much three of the most important world powers, Russia, China, and U.S., something is going on. There's clearly fuckery afoot. Do I think it's possible for normal plebs like you and me to really get the truth of the situation? Absolutely not. But obviously, it is something we have to pay attention to, especially as degenerate traders. The most recent update from Trump is on the screen now. China is very happy that I am permanently opening the strait. I am doing it for them also and the world. This situation will never happen again. They have agreed not to send weapons to Iran. President Xi will give me a big, fat hug when I get there in a few weeks. Very, very interesting commentary, which is really the entire reason why I wanted to read this to you. But yes, President Trump just said President Xi will give him a big, fat hug in a couple weeks. So mark your calendars, set an alarm, do whatever you need to, get some popcorn ready. But I guess two fatties just going to be hugging each other. We are working together smartly and very well. Doesn't that beat fighting? But remember, we are very good at fighting. If we have to, far better than anyone else. Dude, the tennis matches that go on in his own statements are crazy. We're going to give a big fat hug. We're working well together. But remember, we'll also murder you. So that's an interesting update. That was 7:45 this morning. Honestly, I wish I could have a way to interpret it and give you guys some more reasonable thoughts on how to consider this moving forward. But I'm at the point where I don't know. Nothing's real anymore, folks. It's just a simulation. None of it matters. None of it matters whatsoever. I'm just here to report on the news. You can make up your own takeaways. Remember, there's drama elsewhere. Europe drafts post-war plans to free up Hormuz without U.S., UK, and French plans aims to give shipping companies confidence to use the strait after fighting ends. Once again, surprise, surprise, France stepping in when everything's over and saying, hey, we're here. So just staying with normal French stuff. Europe is accelerating a NATO fallback plan in case Trump pulls out. The continent is drawing up a contingency for greater European involvement as tensions rise over the Iran war. So I obviously, on a surface level, understand NATO and the purpose of it and whatever. Hey, Team NATO. But I also understand from a little bit of light searching that the U.S. kind of pays for everything. And there's many members of NATO who aren't carrying their own weight. So my question for you is, I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't know how to put odds to it. I bet it's on Polymarket and Kalshi that we could literally look up the odds of the U.S. pulling out of NATO. But if we pulled out of NATO, do you guys think that's a smart move or a bad move? Like, I'm kind of curious. Maybe someone in chat has researched this topic a little bit more than I personally have. But I'm curious about that. What the question is, do you think it's a good or a bad idea for the U.S. to say, nah, we're not a part of NATO anymore? What's the chat's thoughts on it? Because for me, it's just not a subject matter that I have enough depth of knowledge on. So I'm curious if maybe one of you can maybe teach me a little something before the market gets smart, very smart. Tom, do it. Bricks is falling apart. The smartest, great move. Bad. So Tom's against it. MySpace is against it, and then everyone else is interestingly for it. It feels like something that I need to study a little bit more. Trump takes aim at Pope Leo again, days after calling him weak on crime. This really doesn't fit with Europe or Russia or China or Iran or Venezuela or Mexico or Cuba, but it is just a crazy story that Trump's apparent newest enemy is literally the Pope. So that's a thing. Trump took a swipe at the Pope while saying it was unacceptable for Iran to have nuclear weapons. Okay. The pontiff has called for a ceasefire and urged dialogue to resolve the Mideast conflict. Obviously, we all know that the Pope is the lead war strategist, military strategist of our time. I don't know how the Pope got involved in this, but alas, here we are. And Trump has decided that he is a personal enemy. Also, I don't have the article on it. He's also once again decided that Fed Chair Jerome Powell is his enemy. And just this morning, he said that if he doesn't resign next month, the end of his term, because remember, when you're done being the chair, you're actually not off the FOMC. Historically, you take on like a governorship role or something like that. And that's normally what happens. But this time around, Trump is saying, as of this morning, that if he doesn't resign completely, that he will fire him, which we already know from the Supreme Court Trump can't do. So that's going to be another interesting one. So on a personal level, Trump is feuding with the Pope and Chair Powell. And then on a country level, he's going to hug China, but he also is reminding them that we will fight them if we need to. Who knows what's going on with Russia? It is breaking news that apparently they found Putin's daughter in Europe, and she's a DJ, and she's actually really attractive. That broke on Twitter yesterday. So there's a lot of drama to cover across the board, which is going to set us up for a very interesting trading day. Today, Wednesday, April the 15th, there's nothing really scheduled. Yes, there is VIX expiration this morning, and there's crude oil inventories. I think the important thing is going to be VIX expiration. April 15th. Folks, that is today. This is going to be the second largest VIX expiration since 2020. And as you can see, a lot of the VIX is going to be these puts, which is a vol suppressing force. As in the vol suppressing force, remember, vol down, equities up. If that suppressing force disappears, there's a chance that the market could take a little bit of a hit. So I want to share that with you. But on the flip side, if we get more good Iran news, then there's a chance that we rip and hit a new all-time high. So what I'm trying to tell you is the market open today and all this positioning, there's going to be a change. You can see it. Market open right at 9:30. There's a change in the gamma chart. So as much as I'm paying attention to this, I understand the game restarts right at 9:30, and we're going to have to come back and see the new levels. Don't forget, we're also in earnings, lots of banks, and we're starting to hear from some tech. Tomorrow's very important. TSM and Netflix all coming tomorrow. Bank of America tops estimates as the CEO says consumer banking is healthy. Morgan Stanley tops estimates as trading revenue exceeds expectations by $1 billion. Chip giant ASML raises 2026 guidance as AI semiconductor demand stays strong. Even though that sounds really good, ASML was down by almost 4%. Snap stock jumps 11% on plans to axe 16% of the workforce, citing AI efficiencies. Another company giving us that trick of just fire people to really jack up your stock price. Even though it doesn't have earnings, I think this is important. Anthropic attracts investor offers at an $800 billion valuation. So this might be another one to pay attention to, maybe going live this year. Meta commits to 1 gigawatt of custom chips with Broadcom, decides to leave. The Broadcom Hock Tan decides to leave the board. So Meta, I think, is going to come back in a very strong way, but once again, a personal opinion. And on that note, dingity ding ding ding. The world's largest casino is now open. Best of luck to all. Play responsibly, and if not, have fun. Remember, it's just money. You can't take it with you when you go. There is a downside gap fill in play today. The Qs almost hit it, but not quite yet. We have to get down to 628.60. The closing value was the high value. It's not 61. It is 60 if you're looking at QQQ. SPY, we're looking for 694.58. There is a downside gap fill in play. It's relatively close, so I think with high odds, we will be hitting that today. Looking at SPX specifically, if you're playing it over on the actual index, it is 6969. We are currently trading at 79, so there's a good 10-point move to the downside that I'm looking for. Not only is it close, and obviously the closer target level is, the more likely it's going to get hit, but when you consider the fact that also VIX expiration is playing out right now, I do believe that it is with high odds we will at some point in this session be getting this downside gap fill. That's one specific fill. There are other gap fills on the chart. We have one to 6887, and we have another one all the way down to 6618. And actually that big gap has another gap in the middle of it at 6705. But really, if you want to be like purely mathematical about it, there are two gaps in the chart, 6887 and 6618 on the S&P 500, and then the one as of this morning, which I do not think will be lasting long. Once again, I think there's going to be a play down to 6969 where we closed out yesterday, or the high of yesterday, 0.420. LOLOL. How many of you realize that the high of yesterday was 69, 420? That was, folks, how much more evidence do you need that we live in a simulation? Like, what else do you need going on in your life when you realize that we hit a high of 69, 420? That was the high of yesterday. That's why tomorrow's going to go down, or yesterday's going to go down in the history books, without a doubt. So just wanted to call that out. I think it's fucking hilarious. That's the major target of the day. We're just going to get you guys options flow. I have on no position right now. I'm letting the market open a little bit more than I normally do, exclusively because of VIX expiration and the size of it, the second biggest one ever since 2020. So you never know if there's going to be weird movement. So I'm just trying to chill, not trying to do anything too crazy right out of the gate. Shout out to, I showed you, where was it? Right here. So the reason I was able to let this one run, where so many times I'm talking about consistency rules, well, remember, some of these firms have no consistency rules, and one of my favorite ones is take profit. I was able to make $9K, $18,000 in funded accounts because take profit does not have a consistency rule on their pro accounts. If that is something that would be advantageous for you and your trading, if you are a trend following trader, you might want to be considering TPT. Obviously, 40% off, no activation fee, code Goonie. I highly recommend it, especially for people who are like, you know what? There's some days where it just keeps going and I wish I was in it, but I can't because of the consistency. So if that's something that better fits your trading style, you might want to look at TPT. The other one that will allow you to do it is on Tradeify if you take the blue pill account. Those are the two reputable ones where if you are a trend following trader and you're like, dude, sometimes I follow the trend and I have to get out early. Those are the two reputable firms where there's no consistency. Your TPT Pro, and on Tradeify, not the red pill account, the blue pill account. I believe it's the Flex, or maybe someone in chat can correct me on the name. But those are the two you might want to consider. But right now, obviously, I just want to let you know that TPT, Take Profit Trader, is running a pretty sick deal, 40% off. Use that code Goonie, never pay an activation fee. To be completely honest with all of you, it has been many moon since I've gotten a nice payout from TPT. I just keep fumbling the ball. I get to the 1 yard line. What was it, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I could have taken I think $30,000 payout from TPT, and literally on the 1 yard line, I fucking fumbled it. So right now I'm in a love-hate relationship where TPT loves taking my credit card bill and I hate trading it because I keep blowing out the accounts, but I'm hoping that my success Where are those accounts? Right here, the 159s. I'm hoping that 9K buffer is now enough room for me to like really get rocking with it. So I don't know, fingers crossed, knock on wood. Let's see if I can get going. Oh, just to give you guys an update, I did a quick scalp trade on these take profit evals. I like to distinguish between evals and funded. So these 5, they're done. I hit my 5th trading day. I hit the profit targets. These 5 are good to go. Officially passed those 5 tests. And then all the other ones you see on the screen, the 5 legends, the 5 tradeifys, and the 2 take profit, they are all funded. So what I'm going to be trading with you guys today is 12 funded accounts. I've already passed these evals. I have no more evals right now. I'm just trading on 12 funded. I'm waiting on a payout from FFN. I'm going to be getting another $10,000 today, so just waiting on that. I'm currently still frozen out of Apex, and I'm still currently frozen out of Lucid. On Lucid, I'm waiting to go live. On Apex, I'm waiting for the $1 million payout. So that's the current state of things. That's the update. That's where I'm at. Had those 5 evals, done with them. Trading 12 funded accounts, waiting on a payout for FFN, waiting to go live on Lucid. Oh, I should also note with FFN, there's a good chance they push me live now that I've taken 3 full payouts. So I'm waiting for a payout, probably going to go live there. Not 100% sure. Waiting to go live with Lucid. I'm told that ever since mid last week, I keep being told it's going to happen that day. So it should happen any of these days. Apex, I'm going to get the response when I get the response. And then I feel like there was one more. Maybe not. I think that's it. I don't know. If there's any questions, hey, feel free to shoot it out in chat. I mean, I try to be as transparent as I possibly can. Sometimes I do good, smart shit. Other times I do very, very stupid shit that costs me a lot of money. Thus far, since market open, a little bit of a pop. We didn't get that downside gap fill. I wonder if it's just going to rip right up to 7,000 first. Interesting opening. I really thought when we started a little bit of that, I thought this was going to be the quick push down. But options flow is looking good. Mag 7 is up. Nasdaq started to take a little bit of a hit. A divergence between the 0DT and the full expiration. Interesting. A little bit of a divergence there. But the SPY is slowly but surely grinding higher. People are slowly and surely selling puts, slowly and surely buying calls. No big spikes this way or that way, but it's definitely grinding up. Mag 7 is grinding up. Half of the Nasdaq is also grinding up. So calm, cool, collected. Let's just wait to see how this plays out. We did get the downside gap fill on the Nasdaq right there. It took out the high and the closing value from yesterday. There is still a downside gap fill on the S&P 500. I think I know with high odds, there's a good chance of it getting filled. But remember, that's never a guarantee. Never, ever a guarantee. Do you use Replicanto? I do. Question for all of you. If I built out my own trade copier that also has a built-in trading journal, and on top of that, at the end of the day, it gives you, instead of like looking at all these individual accounts, it gives you like one nice like daily trade report, trade copier, and a trading journal all in one, connect all of your prop accounts. Is that something you would like? Because I get these questions all the time of, okay, like I need better journaling. Where do I go? I need a copier. Where do I go? And then when I post these, it's not really aesthetically the nicest thing. So I thought to myself, since I'm already I have my own journaling already, I built that out. It's not that hard to build a copier. And then for the screenshot of how you do on the day, it can't be that difficult. I mean, I just feel like with Claude, I could probably whip this out. I just didn't know if that, as a prop trader, would you find actual utility in that? Once again, to clarify my big brain idea, one single tool that is a trade copier, it gives you your daily report at the end of did you win, did you lose, and you could toggle the accounts or not of that you want to show, but one little nice daily report card. And then on top of that, it's a trade journal with your prop accounts, so it also can track how you are trading and then your expenses and your payouts. The threading is difficult, especially for when orders do not cancel. I'm not too worried about it. I'm not too worried about it at all, honestly. Interesting. Well, some of you think that would be cool. I love using Claude right now, because it makes my life just so much easier. What time is it? 9:39. NASDAQ still a little bit down. Mag 7 is very much up. S&P 500 is also very much up. Interesting. We've almost taken out the pre-market high. The pre-market high is like what is this? 58, and we're at 50. We're within 5 points. That's going. Remember, the all-time high is 7,002, and we're at 6,987. Dude, this might be going for the all-time high. This is nuts. We might be clocking in for the all-time high, folks. Oh, don't forget to sign up for the newsletter. It's free. They're also really working to get rid of pattern day trading. I posted this yesterday, but for any of you who are interested, they are one step closer to officially getting rid of pattern day trading. Did they get rid of it? No, but they got rid of basically the start of day risk requirement, and now it's intraday. And then from there, all they have to do is argue to bring the number lower. So I don't think the pattern day trading rule is going to survive this year. I really don't. I really, really don't. I think I might have missed my entry. I think I very much missed my entry. 23 and 27. Yeah. I think I missed exactly what I should have been doing. But it's only 11 minutes into the day, and it's VIX expiration, and the downside gap fill didn't get fit. So, like, obviously, there's a game of, like, woulda, coulda, shoulda type of a thing here, because obviously it did pop. But in reality, it's only 11 minutes in, and there is a downside gap fill. Yes, I know structurally this looks nice. You could have taken this long here at 9:36. That's too early for me. At 9:38. But once again, it's too early for me, especially on a day like this. I'm not a prude. Like, I've traded that early before. But on the day of VIX expiration, I just want to give it a little bit more time. So as much as this looks nice, like, yes, I could have had it filled roughly at 25. I would have been up, I don't know, $500. Yeah, I can't. You can't cry over spilled milk, folks. There's no crying in the casino. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. As much as it looks nice, maybe I'd be sweating right now when I move my stop to break even. How would I handle it? Long Tesla and Microsoft, short oil. That's fair. I don't mind that. I mean, I think there's other equities in there, but the short oil play, I think it's good. What does the change mean in the pattern day trading regulation for beginners? So right now, your margin requirement is based on what your account value is right before market open. So if it's above 25,000, great, you can trade as much as you want. But if it's below 25,000, right at market open, you can't. Now it changes intraday. So let's say your account starts with 20K and you make some good trades and it goes up to 25K. Like, you started at 20, you made some good trades. Your first trade out of the gate makes you 5K. You're now at 25. Well, based on now the intraday risk requirement, now you can actually day trade for the rest of the day. So it's changing on an intraday basis rather than the snapshot right in the morning. And this is an important step because first they had to argue for that, the intraday risk management rather than the start of the day. And now the only thing left is to lower that number, and they're probably going to go down to 2,000, which is what you need for a margin account anyway. So it's going to, I don't think it's going to last the rest of the year. I really don't. It's right now, it was 25K start of day. Now it's 25K intraday. And now I think it's going to go down to 2K intraday. I think that's going to be the next big movement. I guess this is exactly why I waited, because as much as this looked like a beautiful trade, take that breakout long, you get to push it. This is what I was worried about, because it's a VIX expiration morning. So I'm happy that I had the patience. I'm happy that I stuck to it. So as much as that was looking nice for a second, I would have just taken a break-even trade. Or who knows, maybe I wouldn't have had the discipline today, and maybe I would be holding it either at break-even or for a loss, or I don't know. But this is exactly why. Like, sometimes you do have to pay attention to the big expiration days. And this opening, as I promised you, it's a bit crazy. It's a bit choppy. It's a bit of serious movement because of VIX. This is the second biggest one since 2020. That's not something that you just treat as another normal trading day. And then when you pair that together with this idea of the downside gap fill not getting hit, we're about to hit it, but it hasn't been filled yet. We already hit it on the NASDAQ. Looks like we're about to go. Well, it hit it on SPY. SPY got the gap fill. QQQ got the gap fill. SPXO. Whoa, what the fuck happened there? What the fuck? Mom? So from 944.55 to 945, it gapped down below the gap, creating a new upside gap. You don't see that too often. So literally at 944.55, the next trade gapped below the gap, and now we're actually going for an upside gap fill. So, like I said, you don't see that too often. We are literally now, this whole time I went downside gap fill, downside gap fill, downside. Now we're legitimately talking about an upside gap fill to basically 6973. So just like that, it went to an upside gap fill. That's interesting. Yeah. Okay. I guess that's the thing that we're dealing with today. Can you explain the logic of gap fills? Why does price go there? The theory is that it's just an untested area of supply and demand. But why it happens is a lot less important of the fact of how often does it actually statistically happen. That's what you should really care about. Because like whether I could give you the right explanation or not, maybe the theory is, the market likes to test untested areas of supply and demand. Maybe you buy that, maybe you don't. Maybe it's because the stair stepper at my new gym doesn't fucking count the amount of flights properly. And every goddamn 100 flights I do, it's off by 6 flights. So instead of doing 100, I'm actually doing 106 because Life Fitness doesn't know how to get a goddamn stair stepper to count the amount of flights, even though it counts the steps. Maybe that's it. I don't know, but you guys kind of see my points. Like, it's one thing to have a good explanation of why something happens, but what matters a lot more in the market is the odds of it actually happening. Like, just know the odds. Like, if you have good reasoning behind the odds, that's not what you're getting paid for. You're getting paid for playing the odds properly. So, I don't know. But we got the gap fill. We're somewhat bouncing off of VWAP at 26,000. That was a nice buy. If you bought right here at 26,000, I'm a bit jealous. Dude, stair stepper gate. I think it goes big. I think this is a much bigger issue than the fitness industry is litting on, but I'm on to something. These fucking something's up, and I'm going to get to the bottom of it. Matt, you know there are a different amount of stairs in a flight? No, it's a standard flight of stairs is 16. It's 16. That is an official flight of stairs. And my argument is why on this machine is sometimes 16 counting as a flight, but then other times you have to go more. But an official flight of stairs, 16 steps. That is a thing. The United States is the largest producer of nuclear energy by far. I'm the best stair stepper, and I feel like someone's trying to derail my career by far. Dude, I did 200, which is actually 212. If you guys follow me on Instagram and you see my daily updates of stair stepping, I just need you guys to know I'm actually stepping more flights than it fucking says. And what's weird is the mismatch between the stairs counted and the flights counted. The stair count is right. It is the flight count that's a little wonky. The flight, I feel like it's just making up fucking numbers on the flight. Man, we got rejected right there. Okay, 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 4 hour is all bullish. 5 minute tested, 10 minute tested, but still bullish. 30 minute tested. 4 hour. Okay, so all momentum is bullish. Mag 7 took a hit. It's recovering. NASDAQ took a hit. Not looking the best. SPY did pop, pulled back. Not really making a decision quite yet. Okay, where are we at on the day? So we have this high. We have this high. And where are our lows? We have this low, and we have this low. Oh, how are you guys feeling? Are you feeling bullish? You feeling bearish? Is anyone trading this? Is anyone not trading this? What are we doing? What are we thinking, team? Teamity, team. As my financial advisors, who's counting? I'm counting. Because when the stair-stepping competition comes a knocking, I'm going to be answering.
Order filled. Order submitted.
All right, I'm taking this long. I probably don't need this one. Let's see. What key levels should I care about today? What key levels? What key levels? 150 and 200. 150 and 200. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. I'm trying to be mindful of the 10 a.m. reversal. I was patient enough to wait for these 20 minutes. We're going to give it some time. When possible, I'm going to get my stops to break even when it's reasonable. Maybe on that push of 80, 26,080. I'll be interested in it. 80, 90, just in case it's a hard rejection at 100. So, I mean, this isn't going to be that exciting, but the levels I care about for this potential extension are 100 and 150. But what I think I have to care about first is actually, hang on, that's not going the right way. What just happened to flow? Hang on. SPX flow is taking a hit. NASDAQ flow started trending back down. Mag 7's trending up, though. I'm going to give it a second. Here. Bounce right off of VWAP. Okay, I might be able to update my risk to whatever that dip is. I'm going to give it a second. But I like what's going on with Mag 7. I like that recovery. NASDAQ, it could be better. And SPY was trying to recover, just took a little bit of a hit. So SPX a little bit on the struggle bus here. I would feel a lot better if it can take out 76, this recent high. I would feel far better about life. All right, so looking for it to take out 76. And then here, let me go to the 1 minute over here. Looking for it to take out the intraday high, which is 60, which is really the pre-market high as well. So thus far, we are triple topping at the pre-market high on NQ, 26,060, while SPY is lagging behind it. On a relative basis, the SPY is weaker than the NASDAQ. So let's see how this gets going. Okay. Q's just broke out. The NASDAQ just broke out right there. I'm watching for somewhere close to 100, maybe at 90. I'm expecting some sellers to step in at the $100 rung. But we do have some distance to go. We did get the downside gap fill, and if buyers decide to step in here, if SPX can take out 76, well, obviously from there, I would be watching the intraday high. But really what's interesting is 7,000 today. How is the gamma map shaping up? I'm expecting this to kind of have changed a little bit throughout the day. Okay, so this is a big change from what we saw initially. So some people are targeting 6,995. Some people are targeting 7,005. So there's two different bets that obviously net out to 7,000, but there is a bet at 6,995 and a bet at 7,005. These are long calls, and there's more calls at 7,005. It's not at 7,000 today. The net open interest is net long, almost 4,000 contracts at 7,005. So that's one of the first things that's going to jump out to me. We did have support at 6,965. That is no longer there. There's a little bit of support, but there's all support at 50. But if we get going and we could take out this key gamma strike, we're then going to be looking at the spot gamma implied one-day move high and this positive gamma node at 7,025. If we manage to hit that, that's actually a new all-time high. In fact, if we hit 7,000, that's pretty much the all-time high. 7,002 is currently, as of this morning, the all-time high, and I would be looking for that to get tested. But really, for that to first happen, we need this little dip here at 952 to be an official higher low, and that would get confirmed by taking out this high. Remember, these green and these little red carrots are the local highs and lows. So you could see at first we were trending up, higher highs, higher lows. Then we got hit. Then we have lower highs and higher lows. By definition, that is consolidation. I'm looking for this to be a higher low leading into the breakout and then a push back up to 88, the intraday high. The NASDAQ on a relative basis is stronger. We just made a fresh high, but for the third time, we are getting smacked at 26,060. We got smacked there when Trump put out his Truth Social The True Social was this spike at 7:45. So there was another thing at 1 a.m. But regardless, we got spiked at 60. We just got spiked at 60, and we're getting spiked at 60 again. So this is our third distinct. Well, we're leading for our fourth test right now. I'm looking for the breakout and follow through, and I want to see it somewhere in this 10-point region to see what's going on. And hopefully that's associated with SPX getting back up to 88. That would be an optimistic bull case. Will it happen? I'm giving it a 50-50 shot. Either we will or we won't. So right now I'm doing my best to read the momentum. 5 minutes bullish, 10 minutes bullish, 30 minutes bullish, 4 hours bullish on the S&P 500. Looking on the NASDAQ, 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 4 hours all bullish, just looking at the EMAs. Price structure could be better. The SPY popped, it was bullish, took a hit, now it's flat. The NASDAQ's a bit better, fake out break low, but it is recovering. Oil's going up, that's not the best thing, and Bitcoin's going down, that's also not so good. So even though the NASDAQ's looking good, I don't like the lack of movement in the SPY, and oil's up, Bitcoin's down, not making me necessarily feel the best. Vol isn't really doing anything. NASDAQ, it was up, took a hit, now it's flat, that could improve. The Mag 7 is up, that's legitimately good for me. And then the S&P 500 is flat. So this isn't an A+ trade. I would say it's a B to B- trade. Nothing's like, well, I don't like the movement on oil and I don't like the movement on Bitcoin. But in options flow, none of it's bad. All the momentum's bullish. Structure could improve, and hopefully we're seeing that soon with SPX. But options flow, it's just kind of neutral right now. And I don't like that because it could easily switch bearish. I don't like that. Okay, let's slap up one of these. Let's slap up one of these bad mamma jammas. Either we will or we won't. That's the market. As much as you can think, oh, that's funny. Like literally the market is 50-50 distributed. I know that there's people trying to like make you believe that there's like special models that do this and that and give you extra predictive power. But that's literally just not true. The market is going to be pretty much a 50-50 mechanism. It's about how good are you with your risk control in the 50% of the time you're right, and how good are you with your profit control in 50% of the time you're wrong, how good are you with your risk, and the 50% of the time you're right, how good are you with your profit. But to think that you're going to somehow magically find something where you're right 80 or 90% of the time, the only way to really do that is to go for small scalps. If you're scalping a point here or there, yeah, you could probably be right 95, 97% of the time. But if you're trying to go for larger moves, more risk, more reward, you're going to very rapidly fall into a 50-50 game. Okay, I got to be mindful because it's about to be 10 a.m. Maybe we see a 10 a.m. reversal. Well, it doesn't happen every single day, but we've been seeing it quite a bit. So I don't know, considering the fact that right here, it's about to be 10 a.m. So I'm paying attention. Can I update my risk? Do I want to go stop to break even? It's not early. Icarus is firing bullish, but Icarus is not telling me to move my stop to break even. Do I want to front run it? Do I just want to take all risk off the table anyway? I see buyers at 40. Unfortunately, my fill's at 49, but Bookmap is showing that yes, at 40. Okay, SPY is finally picking up. That's good for me. Mag 7 is picking up. That's good for me. Nasdaq's picking up slightly. That's acceptable. SPX, it did take out that recent high. So now we officially do have higher highs and higher lows. Like I said, I'm now looking for a test of the intraday high, which would be, I don't know, I'd even be fine at 96, but I'm looking for it to go from 81 to either 86, 88. I want to see somewhere in this region, but the Nasdaq, try to get a little bit of a follow through. Right there, we just saw an intraday high at 76. Like I said, I want to see it somewhere in this 10-point region between 90 and 100. That would be intraday targets. If you scroll back on the 4-hour, the daily chart, you're going to realize the more interesting levels are at 150 and 200. So obviously 100 seems nice right now because that's a 40-point pop. But if you're actually looking at some of the larger time frames, you're going to see technical resistance somewhere between 150 and 200, which would obviously be a nice reach target. But it might be a little bit of a messy path there because apparently we are. Is it a 10 a.m. fake out? I don't know. It just hit my break-even level. Which way are we going? We literally dipped to my fill. Is it gonna be I don't want to get scared out prematurely for no reason because obviously momentum is strong, flow is decent. Like I've definitely been in dumber flow positions, so I don't want to necessarily fold a winning hand. But let's see, we have the flop, but what's the turn in the river? We have a nice flop, but I need to see the turn in the river here. We don't want to get a horse ahead of its skis before the cart. Flows more so up than down. Okay, oil's starting to take a little bit of a breather. That's good. And I need Bitcoin to actually legit keep going. So at first, I didn't like how much Bitcoin was getting hit, and I didn't like how much oil was going up. But if the equities market can keep climbing as oil comes down, as Bitcoin goes up, and ideally as volatility falls, we should be decent. We should be decent. All right. Once we hit 80, it's a little early. It's just a little bit early to get the stop to break even. It's just a little bit early. Rick's on? Someone's screaming Rick in chat. Is Rick on CNBC? Is our boy Rick on? Or are you just getting me all excited? Oh, hell yeah.
And as the Wall Street Journal pointed out, maybe you're getting some cheaper windows and moldings to try to keep the affordability factor
hell yeah.
more in line with what investors and
it's always a
consumers
good day.
can
Rick's
afford.
going to help
Leslie,
this happen.
Back to you.
Yeah, take what they can get, Rick. Appreciate it. Rick Santelli for us. Let's turn now to the latest in Iran and new comments from President Trump. Megan Casella joins us from Washington. Megan.
Good morning, guys. So President Trump this morning saying that he views the war with Iran as, quote, very close to over. He says he believes oil prices will drop once the war ends and that he thinks it can be over very soon. Those comments came, guys, during a Fox Business interview where the president also repeated threats to target Iran's infrastructure. He said he could take out all of their power plants within an hour.
Free trade.
He also talked about a new regime in Iran that he called pretty reasonable.
Free trade. Free trade alert.
About a potential second round of U.S.-Iran talks
Let's
and
hope.
a possible ceasefire.
I'm front-running Icarus, to be honest with all of you, but
tells me that the United States has not formally agreed to an extension of the ceasefire, but that there is continued engagement between the two sides to reach a deal. The White House also says that more talks are under discussion, but they say nothing has been finalized yet. And then, guys, shifting gears here to a separate
closing
topic.
versus rejecting on the gap, 50-50.
During that Fox interview on the Federal Reserve, he renewed threats to fire Fed Chair Jay Powell. And this came in response to a question about the criminal investigation into the Fed's renovations, which, of course, is threatening to delay Senate confirmation of Kevin Warsh to be Powell's successor. Trump said he would not be dropping the probe and that if Powell doesn't leave his seat on time,
come on,
quote,
brother,
then I'll have to fire him.
Don't
he
do this to
he's
me.
Held back on firing Powell. He
We're
says,
within 4.5 points.
But I hate to be controversial. And guys, as you know, Powell's chairmanship ends
a month
from today on May 15th. But past precedent suggests that he can stay on as chair temporarily until his successor is confirmed. His seat on the board, though, that's set to last until January of 2028.
So that was Jerome Powell. He still has the seat on the board till 2028.
Is that if he stays on the board, he's going to fire him as well, not just if he stays on as Fed chair until Warsh is confirmed?
That's what it seemed, but I will say it's not completely clear. It might be just that if Powell wants
Come
to stay
on,
on his
brother.
chair past May 15th, which again,
Come
President
on,
suggested
brother.
that's okay until Warsh is confirmed. That might be what the president has an issue with.
Come
it wasn't
on,
clear
brother.
whether he wants him gone entirely
Follow
after
through.
May 15th, despite the fact that his board
No.
seat remains till January 2028. I've
Take
reached
out
out to the White House on
78.
this, and I haven't gotten a response back yet, but it's not clear at this point. I think what we do know, though, is the president clearly not backing down from the probe and renewing these threats, that he's still willing, he said, to fire the
Spies.
Fed chair.
Nasdaq
Megan, thank
Peck
you.
is trying to
Megan
do
Casella
something.
in, DC
Spy
for us.
is a little bit of a party
Treasury
pooper.
Secretary Scott Bessent joined Sarah this morning at the Invest in
Bitcoin's
America
taking a little bit
Forum.
of a hit.
He discussed how the Iran war
How's
and
spy
rising
flow?
energy
It's
prices
flat.
have
It's not
factored
trending
into
down.
inflation,
It's just flat.
And talked as well about the Fed's path.
Mag 7 popped. I like
what
that.
we've seen in the inflation data.
Who's this?
Core inflation's coming
Treasury
down.
Secretary.
It is the noisy energy component, and we've seen oil prices collapse over the past 2 weeks.
Little fake out
Interest
there.
rates are coming back down. I came out and said, I think the Fed has been
Come
wrong
on
their inflation projections, that it is clear that core is coming down. If they need, for their own sanity, to wait on
I
interest
wanted that
rate
pop
cuts,
to be
I
it.
understand it, but I think that means they're just going to be able to do more on the other side when it is clear that core is coming down and there is no transmission.
Come on, buddy.
From the energy price into core goods.
Underlying inflation.
Let's bring in Torsten Slot, chief economist at Apollo Global
Come on,
Management.
turn
All
around.
right, you heard the Treasury Secretary, Torsten. I think our viewers know where you stand, but what did you think of those comments?
Well, the core inflation today is 3%.
Come on.
And it's right that if this conflict is over relatively soon, we will absolutely expect also to see core inflation begin to go down. But this is the whole discussion in markets at the moment. Is core inflation going to come down gradually, as Scott Bessent is implying? Or is there a risk that we might see more spillover effects? Just like
That's the green I wanted to see. That's the green.
In the month of March. We've also seen transportation costs go up. So this is the entire debate, namely, are we going to see that
take out that
down
line
in core inflation that Scott is implying?
And where are you in this debate?
Well, the challenge is that the economy is doing quite well. We have some tailwinds from AI spending.
right at that trend line. Come on, take it out, brother.
We also have tailwinds from the industrial renaissance, meaning the home shoring of
this
production.
guy is not giving
to the
me the
US.
best vibes.
And those tailwinds still continue.
Low vibes, only high vibes. That guy started talking and he ruined this punch, this push. Come on. He ruined the push. It's that guy's fault. I'm going to send that guy a receipt. Fuck. Right at the trend line. Come on, be a higher low. Patience. I just need patience. It's going to be what it's going to be. It's going to be what it's going to be. Come on. Just take it out. If we could take out 77, I'm looking good. I just need to take out 77. Tis tap at home. Little tap, tap, tappy. Are you looking at the 1 minute chart? Dude, just look at the chart. It says it. Whatever chart I'm looking at, it's not like it's hiding the information from you. I wonder, am I going to get punished for front running Icarus? Is that what this is all about? I hope not. I hope not. I hope. Not looking good. Come on, turn out of here, brother. I was trying to be risk adverse, and it is risk adverse, but obviously if you're front running your stop movement, there's a better chance of your stop getting hit and maybe unnecessarily. Oh, but it is taking risk off the table. So I have to remind myself that, like, yeah, sometimes you get knocked out, but then you're not sweating because your stop's at break even. I'm just going to, I wonder what my psychology is going to do. Deploy the magnets. We might have to break out some magnets here pretty soon. It's just, we almost got that fill. It hit 85.50. My fill was at 90. And ever since then, lower highs, lower lows. I'm like really zoomed in. This is the 100 tick chart, but I'm waiting for this little trend to switch because obviously we had some bullish aggression. It's turned into a slight amount of bearish aggression. I see a lot of people at 100. I still feel confidently that we're getting up to the 90s. It's just the question of, are we going to get to the 90s before we hit 48.75 and it knocks me out? That's the issue. Are you scared? No, I'm not scared. I'm just questioning, was it smart to front run Icarus's risk management? Icarus is calling for me to have not break even yet, to still give it more room. And really, it doesn't want me to go to break even until we hit 90. So I was front running it. And it's going to be one of those things that, like, part of my brain is like, okay, this is cool because you're being risk adverse. And if you get knocked out for break even, whatever, not the end of the world. But then part of me is thinking, what if it dips, knocks it out, and then rips anyway? That's the part that I'm like, and it's one of these things where everyone's great at trading after the chart plays out. Everyone's great at Monday morning quarterbacking. It's a much different game when doing it live. A much different game when doing this live. So that's what I'm. But on the flip side, what if I have my stop at break even and it vomits and never comes back anyway? And then I'm like, oh wow, how lucky am I that I got out for break even? So this game does cut both ways, and it's always so evident in hindsight. But in real time, it's a completely different game. What is Icarus? It's my trading system. Fuck. Not good, dude. Not good, dude. It's the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is dragging this down. The Nasdaq is seemingly wanting to go, but the S&P 500, it's having a really tough time getting back above 80. Having a real tough time as of now, and I hope things change in my favor. But right here, we're just battling it out at 80. So I'm hoping we could take out 81.50, this high from 10 a.m. Okay, I'm seeing a little bit of life. I'm liking that. Every time I look at it, every time I get excited because I see a green bar, I then look again and boom, knocked from 80 back down to 70. Hopefully, shoulder, head, shoulder, inverse head and shoulders, snap the neckline at 78. If you did the measured move, that would be 20 points. So that would bring you literally right up to 100. So a little inverse head, shoulder, head, shoulder, neckline at 77. That's 20 points. So yeah, that if you're taking this inverse head and shoulder setup, that would bring you almost perfectly to 100. At this point, I'm just reaching for anything that like gives me the confidence to stay in this play. But really, this is just, I guess, self-talk, trying to be self-soothing here, because I would feel so much better about this if this just locked in. If on this pump right here at 10:04, if I could lock that one in, the stop would be at break even, and I wouldn't give. Not only would I not give a hoot, I wouldn't even give half of a hoot. I wouldn't be given a portion of a hoot because I would have already locked in money and it's a freebie trade. It's just a little bit more unsettling when you're still carrying the full size of the whole thing. And you're deviating from the stats a little bit. And when I say the stats, I mean Icarus, because Icarus is a highly optimized reading of the market, just data mining information. Market waiting on any potential news today. At 10:30, there's crude oil inventories. There's various Fed speakers, but in reality, we might just be getting a random update from Trump at any moment in time, or from, okay, that's a fresh high. So we are seeing a new succession of higher highs and higher lows. We're trending up. So we have bullish structure on the 1 minute. We have bullish structure on the 1 minute. What is that low? 55. That's not so bad. Needs to take out 85. Go. Go, go, go. We could do it, team, with a little bit of grit, perseverance, and dare I say it, tenacity. If we all put our collective brain power together, we can push the NASDAQ higher. We're trying to make some tendies. We're trying to pay off some bar tabs. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Know when to hold them, know when to fold them. Except I actually don't know which one's the right one. Finally got my MCP server set up that feeds to AI, and it helps me a ton. Sounds similar to Icarus. Yeah, that's the data collection. I think you're on the right path for sure. Come on, brother. Come on. No. That was so close. We just made a fresh high, got smacked 87, and my fill's been at 90 since Nam, dude. I've been sitting in this place since fucking Nam, brother. Come on, you're gonna Here's a little bit of Agent Orange. Here's a little bit of fucking napalm. Come on. Come on. No. 89.50. The market, guys. There we go. There we go.
Here comes the money.
What?
You getting mad? I'm getting rich. You getting mad? I'm getting rich.
All right, folks, your boy's pretty much done on the day. I locked in 800 buckaroos at the level I wanted it. Stops at break even. So worst case situation, I make $800. Best case situation is the market rips and I make even more money. So that's it. It's a freebie trade. I already made money. I'm good. That's how you do it. And what's nice is I am in the position on these tradeifys and on these take profits. The legends, I do have to stop myself at 3.5. Obviously, that would be a good problem to have. But on take profit, on tradeify, I am allowed to let it ride because there's no consistency. If you want to take advantage of that, like where, hey man, I think I caught a trade, take advantage of take profit, code Goonie, 40% off, no activation fee, and then also the blue pill on tradeify. That's how you could do it. So big advantage. But that's really good if you're a trend following trader. If you're not a trend following trader, there might be better accounts for you. So I guess I want to get clear about those nuances, but I'm a trend following trader a decent amount of the time. Sometimes I have other strategies that go for whatever, 1 ATR, 10 points, 20 points, 50 points, something like that. So there's other things to consider. But the core Icarus system, it is trend following. The days that I could just get in, lock in some money, stop to break even, and then just see how far it goes, exactly like I did yesterday, that you can only possibly do that on accounts where you're not capped with consistency because you never know when those big days are going to come. So that's a very important thing to understand, So because of it, just make sure you're partnering with the right firm for your trading style. And the two reputable firms that do not have consistency that I use, and I think you guys should consider if you're interested in this, take profit, code Goonie, 40% off, no activation fee, and then the blue pill on Tradeify. Let me show you. Actually, can I show you? Okay, the Tradeify Flex. The blue pill is Flex. The red pill is daily. The Flex is what you would want. Once again, the Tradeify Flex does allow it. Obviously, they're big. They're reputable. But then all of the TPTs are like that. So there we are. I mean, easy peasy lemon squeezies. If I draw this... Will it, hang on, let me add, I built this indicator. Speaking of Claude, how cool is this stuff? Will it actually even draw it yet? Because the play isn't completely done. Where is it? It's called Show Trades. I built a new indicator for myself called Show Trades. Apply. Okay, so there's on the chart. You know what? Maybe this is easier. Or copy, duplicate a new tab. We're going to clean it up. We're going to clean it up. We're going to clean it up. Remove. And then we're going to switch it to the 1 minute. So there you go. There's the trade. I just built an indicator because I thought this was easier for stream to kind of show the entry and the exit. So I did have two, which is why one is still live, but you could see the trade right there. Felt good at first. Then I was questioning my life, and then it ripped anyway. So, hey, worked out for me. We did run into that wall at 100. Actually, now the wall moved up to 125. Like I said, if you scale back in a larger time frame, you're going to realize the interesting technical points actually aren't at 100. They're at 150 and 200. So I would love to see if I could ride this to 150 or 200. Hey, I would love that. Will it happen? I don't know. There could be a hardcore rejection right here. But maybe even what's more interesting than those larger technical levels on NQ, which we did just hit 100, is, well, first you need, that's an easy play. That's an easy technical breakout play. Watch that trend line on SPX. Because right now we do have the higher highs and we've trending up, but we haven't taken out that intraday high. Yeah, we're some profit taking, double top there on the SPY, and we hit that 100 value on NQ. So not so surprised we're down. Obviously, I would just love for it to hold 55. Ideally, it doesn't even break below 68, or if it does, it quickly bounces off of it. But whatever. It's no risk to me. It's a freebie trade. That's what trend following is. There are many ways to trade. You could be a mean reverting trader. You could be a trend following trader. You could be an arbitrage trader. There's many different families of trading styles. And I think they're all good. Like, you can make money off doing all of them, but certain styles do suit certain personalities better. And obviously, as a trend following trader, I can already see it in chat that the second you're not at your max value, people tend to freak out. Like, even look in chat, or like, why aren't you taking it? Why aren't you taking it? Well, because this might just be a small pullback that keeps going. And I'm willing to risk getting knocked out for break even because it's no risk to me for the chance that maybe this does pop to 200 today. It's asymmetric. That's what the purpose of trend following trading is for asymmetric gains versus losses. So if I can keep my losses small, or ideally not at all, and then from there, just whatever money I make, it's just pure profit with no risk, I'm going to do that time and time again. But I'm, I guess, explaining it this way because that's not the appropriate trading style for everyone. If you have a personality where you watch this drop to 108 down to 71 and you freak out and you're like, oh, I can't do that. Well, okay, trend following trading is not for you. You might want to do mean reverting trading or something like that. But once again, this is how I trade, because diving into the math of the market, I actually think this is the best way to make the most optimal amount of money from a risk reward perspective. But once again, that's me. That's my opinion. That's my personality. That's my research of the market. If that's something for you, dude, have at it. But understand, just because I do something this way, that's not exclusively the model that everyone else has to follow. In the Discord, there's people who do that. In the Discord, there's also mean reverting traders. There's momentum traders. There's trend following traders. Like, there are many ways to make money in this game. And what I beg of you is don't hop around all the time. I did that very, very early in my career. In fact, this is an important note, so you might want to listen up. If you are new to the world of trading, it is really easy to get, I guess, kind of sucked into the black hole of all the new shiny objects. Of like, you might have a bad trading day and you're not happy about it because variance just hit you a bad beat, and then you see another trading style. You got to trade that. And before you really have enough time to like learn it, master it, become an expert in it, you try it a little bit. Maybe it does work, doesn't work. The second it doesn't work, you get attracted to the new shiny toy. So all of a sudden your focus goes elsewhere. But the market is an interesting organism in which it rewards you not for a breadth of knowledge of, oh, I tried this, then I tried that, then I tried this, then I tried that. It's going to pay you for a legit expertise level knowledge and discipline in one specific thing. Whether you want to trade one product, one time frame, whatever it is, you got to get really good at your one thing. There's kind of an old saying in the market that there's a million different ways to make money. It's just difficult to find the one way that's going to work for you. There are many, many ways to make money. What works for me might work for you, might not work for you. But I do want to give you that word of warning to don't just always get endlessly like going back and forth. Get into a thing and like really dedicate to learning everything you need to know about that thing. And this is really coming from just like, I guess, my personal history. It's like that happened to me all the time. I'd have one bad day. I'm like, nope, got to completely switch it. So I kept just going back to the drawing board instead of getting really good at one thing. And then finally, when I realized, dude, like I'm barely learning about anything, by the time I dedicated to my like overall mindset to being, okay, I need a trading framework that does well for trend following. That's when I finally started to see some legitimate progress. So maybe to someone out there, I hope that that little tidbit, that little input helps someone, because maybe yourself, you're like, dude, I'm just bouncing around all the time. No, pick one thing that you think reasonably is going to work well for your personality, your trade account, like various things that you have to consider. Pick the one that you're like, okay, I think this is the first reasonable shot, and then just go from there. Start collecting data, refine. Collect more data, refine even more. Collect more data, refine, and you're going to be in that endless loop. But before you know it, all of a sudden your profits are going to start to go up and up and up. So please remember that. By the way, Cursor and Claude Code can make it super easy to code your own Icarus and even provide research. I've been watching Matt since 2020, and I'm glad I've helped me explore building my own system. I think everyone should be building their own system. Claude does make it really easy. In 2020, I gave people a little bit of a benefit of the doubt that my background is in computer science and statistics, so not everyone had that background and went to college for what I did. So I was like, okay, like I get why everyone's not building their own system. I get why everyone's not doing analytical research. But now in the current state of AI, you have no excuse. If you are not doing like system development, data research, all that stuff as it relates to trading, you're just being lazy. If you have enough time to sit there and day trade, at first, you should be sitting there studying, analysis, putting in that legitimate effort. And then from there, your trading is actually going to be much better. So years ago, I gave people like benefit of the doubt. I'm like, you probably just aren't going to have the skill set to pull it off. But now with literally no knowledge of computer science, statistics, research, you can get AI to do it for you. And the only reason you're not at this point is legitimately because you're being lazy. If you have the time to actively trade, you have the time to make your trading better. And you should obviously focus on that first. You should definitely be focusing on that first. Did you get your Apex payout? Nope, I am still waiting. It just takes time. Like in the market, when you have to be patient, sometimes other aspects of the world of trading, it takes time. And it just is what it is. From a business perspective, I can completely understand how it takes a minute to make a 7-figure business decision, which is my payout. I'm going from over $1 million. So between reviewing all my trades, KYC, AML, them having issues with other influencers, rolling out new accounts, rolling out a live program, redesigning the website. When you think about it that way, you realize how it's taken this long. But once again, it is just do I just want to take my profits right there at 7,000? I might end today early just so it's such nice weather out that I might on the pop to to a new all-time high, not just the intraday. We're already at a new intraday high. The all-time high is 7,002.28. Matt, any thoughts on WULF? I have no clue what that is. Can you go over your rules for when you move your stop to break even? I always move too quickly and then the position closes out. It's just data mining of the best time to do it. I don't know. I literally just piped in a bunch of data and did research on the best time to do it. And then that is a core component of Icarus. But today, to be clear, I did front run it. Have you ever considered just walking up to Apex and asking them? I don't even know where I would walk to. Did we ever talk about Putin's daughter? I brought it up. Apparently, she was found Putin's daughter. Apparently, she's a DJ in Europe. Putin's daughter has been found living in Paris with a secret life as a DJ. And what's crazy is that is obviously Putin's daughter. That is so clearly Putin's daughter. And then the most popular quote tweet is, honestly, having Putin as a stepfather doesn't seem so bad. Which, did I see that? Did I like it? That's how I saw it. It cracked me up. No, I guess I didn't like it. But there's a viral quote tweet saying, doesn't seem that bad. But what's crazy, you can see, unless it's AI generated, which maybe it is, I don't think it is, but maybe it is, you can clearly see that it is Putin's daughter. Record vol crush. Well, apparently people are not buying. I delete this post. Let's say you had $132,000 in the bank, but you also have $132,000 mortgage at 4.8. Would you invest the money in the stock market or pay off the house? That's it. Yeah, no. You shouldn't pay it off at 4.8. PJ, you sent in a super chat. That's very kind, but there was no message. Did you forget to add a message to that? If you had a message, you don't have to send in another super chat. Just type it and I will look for it. I feel bad that you might have accidentally not added in what you needed to have in there. Dude, that kid is living the dream. What? Video of a humanoid robot chasing wild boars out of Warsaw neighborhood and into the woods and then waving goodbye has gone... No. What? Humanoid robot chasing wild boars in Poland goes viral. Why does it have a backpack? Is it going to school? Dude, it's literally just chasing down boar. Those are big fellas. It's literally just running after it. This is what AI should be doing. It's very loud. And then it waves. That was the ending we all needed. That was the ending we all needed. Are we missing anything else? Yes, I'm still in the trade. Oops, sorry, this is way too big now. Yeah, I'm in the trade. I'm crushing it. I locked in a nice 41 points. I have a stop at break even, a runner. I'm up 2.5K. If it goes to 1, the only thing I have to do is manage these legends at 3.5. Other than that, the tradeifys and the take profits, these 2 TPTs and these 5 tradeify, they're uncapped. So actually, I should probably set that up now so I don't have to panic when it happens. I do need to manage the legends a little bit early. Legends, 1, 2, 3, 4. Legends, 397. 397. Okay. So I do need to manage these. How do I want to? I think it's 80.
Order submitted.
Let me do the quick math on that one just to make sure that I did it at the right. Oh, wait. No, I could just do it there. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So once again, that was just for the Legends accounts because they have a 35% consistency, and I'm doing the backwards math to just get to 10K. So I just am trying to not exceed that. So that's just for the Legends. But once again, for the other ones, it's uncapped. So I could just let this run as much as it wants to run. I was going to say I would nuke that, but Putin's daughter, but erased it. Had a great day and appreciate all that you do too. That's funny. Folks, if you haven't already, could you guys greatly help me out and hit that like button? It does get this show, this channel, this community promoted to potentially other like-minded degenerates like ourselves so we can continue to expand the cult of Piper. So if you want more fresh, new, happy, degenerate Piper cult members, make sure to smash that like and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And remember, if you become a devout member of the Church of Piper, you will be blessed by the market gods. Before joining the Church of Piper, I was the shell of a man. I mean, I definitely couldn't make any money. And then as soon as I heard about the church, my fortunes started to change. And then I made a lot of money when I became nothing but a devout member. So, Matt, were you able to get your payouts from FFN? Oddly enough, I just got them. It's funny that you bring that up right here. I just got the payout certificate. So I got approved for another 10K, but remember it's an 80-20 split, but it's really funny you bring that up because here's the certificate. Let me zoom in. Right there. April 15th, 8K. I'm Matthew Kohrs. Certificate of payout. This certificate is proudly presented to Matthew Kohrs, profit share, 8K, April 15th. I guess the CEO is Kevin Swart. So yeah, I did get, I mean, I guess I could trade on those accounts now that like the payout went through, but it would now be chasing. So yeah, there's always tomorrow. There's always tomorrow. But yeah, so that brings my payouts. Unfortunately, I'm not doing the best in the month of April. We're halfway through the month, and I have $20,000 in payouts. 10K from, hang on, indicators. I need to stop this from re-rendering. I kind of messed this up. I have 10K from FFN and another 10K from FFN. So 20K in approved payouts and 16K hitting my bank account. So that hit. I think I requested Thursday night. It got into their system Friday morning. So it took Friday, Monday, Tuesday, approved today. And how much is a credit card bill? Probably fucking more, dude. I don't know what's going on. I think my wife got my credit card number because I'm not trading worse than I've always traded like shit. Let's be clear. I've always traded like shit, but I'm not trading worse than my normal bad. I think my wife finally found my credit card number because I'm noticing a correlation between my credit card bill and the massive increase of Amazon boxes showing up to my door every single day. And maybe there's a correlation. Maybe correlation isn't causation. Maybe correlation is causation. I don't know. But there is simultaneously a spike in my credit card usage correlated with the amount of boxes showing up from Amazon to my door box every single day. And the only thing that's really changed in my life is a couple weeks ago, my wife asked for my credit card number. Hey, do you think it could run to the 250s? It could do whatever the fuck it wants, brother. Correlation. That's a good one. It could do whatever the hell it wants. But really what I care about is this push to 7,000, more specifically 7,002. The all-time high from Wednesday, January 28th, 2026 was the all-time high, and we are getting real close. Real close. All right, very quickly. All right. What is today? The 15th. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, if you are in the Discord, Piper fired. That's in there. Do I want to trade today? Vertical 20. All right, we're going to try to do something a little bit interesting if I can get a fill. I have to remember that I'm still in. Okay, just got a fill right there. Member for 60 months. Where does the time go, dude? 60 months, 5 years. We must have been through quite a bit. All right, I did just get a fill. I'm throwing that into Discord. We're seeing what we could do today. Ooh, Jesus. I guess if I just waited a little bit, I could have gotten a much better fill. Shit, that's a bummer. Well, we'll see how this one plays out. Okay, that's in there. Damn, if I waited right away, I could have saved myself a good amount of money. So we ran into 150. Like I said, that was the start of the interesting technical area. I was seeing if we could go up to 180 with the real thoughts of 200. That's not looking so good. The regular trading hours VWAP is right here at 67. Maybe a quick little bounce back. I mean, we are at IB. The initial balance is set, and we broke out already at 134 on NQ. WTF oil. What just happened with oil? Someone saying WTF. Oh, oil did just pop out. And crude oil inventories came out at 10:30. That's probably what happened at 10:30, right when this spike started. Crude oil inventories. We can look into those numbers for you. Crude oil inventories coming out today. Wow. Way off. They forecasted 2.1 million, and it was a drop of almost 1 million. They were way, way off, and the previous was 3. So Wall Street, very much on the wrong side of that one. Very much on the wrong side of that one. Okay, S&P 500 is still slowly but surely climbing. Nasdaq's kind of looking a bit better. Mag 7 is very much climbing. So options flow is strong. Structure, higher highs, higher lows. Momentum, bullish, 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 bullish. I mean, if you're bearish right now, the only reason to be bearish is if you have a sitting short order at 7,000 and you're playing that mean reversion. Other than that particular play, what are you doing? Like, I could understand, like, hey, man, I think there's going to be profit taking at the all-time high at the $1,000 value. I get that. Other than that one bearish play, what are you doing being bearish right now? Like, is anyone in chat actually bearish? Like, is anyone betting right here that we go back down? Exclusive of the case of hitting 7,000. I get that. Couple points, whatever, just take it. But beyond that, if you have a bearish position on, you're just on the wrong side of this. Like, legitimately, you're just on the wrong side of structure, momentum, and flow. Oil ripping. Oil pop because of the 1030, the crude oil inventories. But you have to know why it goes. So, recently, based on oil news with Iran, if it popped, that was bad. But you have to know why it's going up. This time around, the correlation is not going to have an inverse relationship with the equities because it was crude oil inventories. It wasn't a Iran update. How are individual equities doing? NVIDIA. NVIDIA almost back to an all-time high. NVIDIA's rocking. Tesla's showing some life. Look for the breakout of 386. Look for the breakout of 400. Look for the recapture of the cloud. Look for the recapture of the simple 200-day moving average. So above 400 is nice for Tesla, but I like the 5 days it's putting together. Apple, on top of its cloud, maybe looks like it wants to keep going. You can watch this downsloping trend line. Saved itself at the 200 simple. Google, almost back to its all-time high. Palantir, maybe a double bottom, but you would want this back above 150. Meta, folks, I've been pouring so much fucking money into Meta in my long-term account because it was dirt cheap down here, and I honestly feel the same way about Microsoft. I feel like these two are major tech plays that are massively undervalued, and I actually felt the same way about Netflix because it got caught up in political drama. And also the Warner Brothers bid. It's not as cheap as it was, but still, I'm looking for the 200. But in my long-term account, the big tech names I bought that I just thought were way too cheap: Meta, Microsoft, Netflix. Netflix and Meta, I'm already massively up on. Microsoft, it needs to keep going, but I'm looking at this current potential trend reversal right there. So I'm excited about that. Let me move myself over so you guys can see it a little bit better. So I'm still hopeful for this to actually recover. Meta's already paying me. Netflix is already paying me. On the Netflix one, I just, how many times in Netflix's history has Netflix either pissed people off in the political arena, done a stupid takeover, or increase their prices, and then everyone says, I'm getting rid of Netflix. No way. I don't like their content. I don't like their politics. And then every single quarter, Netflix gets on their earnings call and they say, hey, I know people are saying this, but guess what? Our subscriptions are up. So as much as people talk a big game of I'm canceling my Netflix, They just don't. And at a certain point, you see that pattern over and over and over again, and you realize that whenever there's a fear of a big amount of people leaving Netflix, it just never happens. Maybe one of these times it's going to change, maybe. But for right now, I was buying it this entire time below 90, and it's already looking solid. Microsoft, my average is 200 because I've been in it for years, but I do want to see this back up at 480, 500. Netflix is going to keep going. Palantir, I like it when it breaks 160. TSM, I mean, it's at an all-time high. I'm in that. Avago, it's near the all-time high. I'm near that. Rumble, this is, I mean, I'm biased because I'm streaming on Rumble. I like the Rumble team. I'm invested in Rumble, but it's clearly an unrecognized AI play. And you don't have to believe me. Go do your own research. Look at the recent deal that just got confirmed with Northern Data. Understand what that's going to do to their quarterly revenue. This is, in my opinion, greatly undervalued. Oracle, I have no position. ASML, almost an all-time high yesterday. It's down 4% today because of their earnings, but overall, I do like what's going on there. AMD, I own AMD. It's back at its all-time high. Amazon, I don't own Amazon, and I feel like I kind of missed the move. Coinbase, don't give a fuck about it. MicroStrategy, I think this thing's going to go to zero one day. Hut, I missed it. DJT, no interest in it. Texas Roadhouse, I own a decent amount. It's just not trending anywhere. What about Walmart? Decent. Costco. Okay. Bird had news today. Bird's ripping. It's up 405%. It's lucky that it wasn't going bankrupt. What else to do? Someone asked about Wolf. You're late to it. Data processing. Oh, CoreWeave. This is another one I put in my long-term account. This is probably my highest risk, highest reward one because when I got it, it was kind of getting beaten up. Obviously, that's playing well right now. Open is dog shit. This is a horrible company. It's another pump and dump scam by that piece of shit, Eric Jackson. He's such a fucking scumbag liar. But no, this is another retail social media pump and dump. If you're going long on it, I wish you luck, but God fucking speed. BlackBerry? I don't. Duolingo? No. I mean, the new advancements in AI, trash. There's certain ones that when they get hit, you're like, okay, I can reasonably see them bouncing back. But right now, Duolingo, no. It's just the new headphones and the auto translators, no. AMC, nah, dog shit. Dog shit. Quantum computing, no. Those were fun active trades, but right now the science just does not suggest that quantum computing is anywhere to a reasonable business level. It's just a lot of the people hyping up quantum computing don't understand that from a business perspective, the science is nowhere where you need it to be. MU, Micron, no. This is actually, out of all of the AI semiconductor plays, this is my least favorite, and I think this is a temporary part. They basically just stopped selling to the public, and they're selling out their supply to, I guess, business consumers, but I don't see that trend lasting. So I'm not against it. Like I said, I just like AVGO, AMD, and NVIDIA better. So since we have a limited amount of capital, I'm going to put my money in that. Hood, no. Hood, I think, is going to have to pay. Well, from a technical perspective, I do like this breakout. From a risk reward, if you're like, dude, I'm long at 80 and 85, I'm risking 68. I like the risk reward of it. I really do, because long here. But that would be more of like a medium term swing play. In terms of a long term investment, the fact that they've so willingly accepted sports betting, I don't think it's going to work well for them in the long run. I really, really don't. And I think there's going to be an exodus of Robinhood to other popular retail platforms such as Public. Weeble's even done gambling. But I think at a certain point, retail traders are going to wake up and realize that maybe they shouldn't be gambling their retirement account. So as an active swing trade, I like it. The risk reward is there. As an active investment, no. I don't predict that it's going to be. Maybe they get out of that. Maybe they don't want to do sports betting anymore. Maybe they spin out the app into their own sports betting app, and maybe that's a different story. But based on the current information we have, I think it's a good bullish trade as a swing trade, not as an investment. And I'm trying to lock this puppy in at 180. Nokia, who the fuck uses Nokia? What about CSCO? How's the stock look? It looks bullish, but kind of boring. To me, if you're trying to play the partnership, you'd look at NVIDIA, which looks a lot more exciting. AI. C3 AI. Trash. Snap. If they fire more and more people, they might send it back to an all-time high. But overall, who uses Snap? I thought it died off when I left college. Apparently, a lot of Gen Z uses it now. Gen Alpha uses it to talk, but it's just, what the fuck is their revenue? They're nowhere even close to ever having a profit. I don't get it. Baba. If Baba can recapture the cloud and the 200 and break that trend line, I actually think there might be something there. Are we going for the all-time high? Okay, new intraday high, almost at the all-time high. We're getting there. We're getting there, team. We're getting there. And we're almost getting here. So remember, this trade is to max out my Legends accounts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are all funded on Legends. I put a cap of 3,500 because my goal is to get 10K in total profit, and there's a 35% consistency. So I reverse engineer it. I look at my goal, 10K, I do the math, 35%, 3.5K, which is why that's where I limit it. So we're almost getting there. I'll be really, really close to that 10K. So stoked about that. And then that's just for Legends. And then the other ones, there's no consistency. Where the fuck's the position? Oh, that's not Take Profit Pro. That's a Take Profit scalp account. Oops. My bad. I almost shit myself. That's my fault. I clicked on the wrong Take Profit account. I was like, bro, where's it coming from? What's your opinion on the SaaS sell-off? I don't think it'll ever recover. I think AI has brutalized SaaS, and I don't think it'll ever return to its former glory. I would not be buying SaaS. Personally, there's just better opportunities. Okay, intraday high rejection, but overall still trending up. Mag 7 climbing like no other. NASDAQ climbing. S&P 500 climbing. Yeah, at this point, the name of the game is how close to 7,000 can we get? If we zoom in, look at some of this action. Oops. Yeah, you can see people are playing 90 and playing 7,005. Negative gamma node, negative gamma node. The bigger one as of this morning was 7,005. Yeah, there's 5,000 long contracts for the 0 DTE. That is the biggest bullish bet of the day. And then you have sold calls at 7,025. Long calls at 7,005, 5,000 of them. You have sold calls at 7,025, and there's 11,000 of them. Any thoughts on NU Bank? Nope, I don't know shit about it. And I also find financial plays to be some of the most boring fucking plays you could possibly ever be involved in. The financial sector is so goddamn boring. It moves at a snail's pace. JP Morgan has gone nowhere since July of 2025. Citi is actually looking pretty good. Wells Fargo has gone nowhere since 2024. Like, it's just a boring fucking sector. Maybe something changes and one day it does something, but it's so goddamn boring. It's really, really tough from a capital efficiency standpoint to care about the financial sector when you have tech going absolutely crazy. Like, it's just boring. I'm not against it. You'll probably make money. It's just boring as shit. But maybe that's what you want your portfolio to be. Maybe you want it to be boring stuff. Maybe that gives you peace of mind. I happen to be a degenerate, so I don't want things that are boring. What are the tests after 200 if NVIDIA gets above it? No one knows, dude. You know, it's a secret. It's a big, big secret. Big secret. Thoughts on Rigetti and overall quantum play? I don't think it's going to end well. I think it's a bunch of people who don't understand quantum computing. The science of quantum computing is so incredibly far away from making it viable in any business capacity that it was just a hype wave. I don't think it was like a intentional pump and dump, but the FOMO nature of it ended up making it a pump and dump. So I don't think it ends well. I don't think it ends well at all. I mean, that's actually a really, really good example of a lot of people like just searching what quantum computing can do. And they're like, oh my God, it's so amazing. But then they don't have anywhere close to the science acumen that they need to know to understand that it's very, very far away. It's very, very far away. And like, it's just like the insiders are selling like no other. Literally, is it Rigetti or D-Wave? One of those CEOs basically said that this is like never going to be business viable. Like he has interviews out there. He's like, yeah, no, like we're never going to be viable in the business marketplace. Like the internals of the company are telling you it's not going to work. It might be cool as like a science fair project, but we are, if ever, we are multiple decades away from it being a thing. So it's a fun trade, both to the upside and downside because of volatility, but it's not something I would invest in. And I try to be clear about that distinction. Trading and investing are two different things. AMC was a great trade. GME was a great trade. You could have played it up, you could play it down. That doesn't mean they're investments. Same thing with all these quantum movements. They have great movement. They have great volatility. They are great trades in both directions. That doesn't mean it's an investment. Tesla is a great trade and, in my opinion, a great investment. Someone's asking about that. Something like Microsoft is a little boring to trade, but it's a great investment. Meta is a great trade and a great investment. Netflix is a great swing trade and, in my opinion, right now, a pretty good investment. So different equities, different businesses, they do show different characteristics. So just because you like something as bullish or bearish, understand that time frame matters. Just because you like, I don't know, Rigetti today or Bird today, Bird's up 400%. If you got in early, congrats to you. That doesn't mean it's an investment. It means it was a great trade. And sometimes they overlap, but sometimes they don't. But I find a lot of new traders are commonly conflating the two because they like it in the short term. They think it's great for long term. Because they like it in the long term, they think it's great for the short term. There's no correlation between that. The best stocks can still have down days, weeks, months, and quarters. The worst stocks can still have up days, weeks, months, and quarters. So make sure in your mind, and the best thing I do to help kind of separate my mind is I use different accounts. So when I'm in that account, my brain is kind of like, okay, this is what we're doing here. But please don't conflate those. Matt finally got over his Meta hate. I don't know if I ever hated Meta, but hey, whatever gets you up in the morning. SpaceX IPO trade or investment. It's a trade out of the gate. It's going to be most likely way too overvalued. So it'll pop, and then it'll take a big hit. So you could probably trade the pop and the drop. But I do think it's a long-term investment. Matt, how are you able to hold trades for so long, especially set a break even, not even higher up? Oh, I guess it's because I'm not a pussy. I don't know. Some people are born into this world, whether it's nature or nurture or I don't know. Some people are just born to be giant fucking pussies. And then others of us are not. I don't know. Don't know how to help you on that one. Rum, trade, or investment. I think it's exclusively an investment. I don't like it as a trade. I would love for this to lock in. Yeah, 200. Can we see the gamma map? Of course. There's your gamma map. So you're watching 90 7,005, it probably nets out to 7,000 just because in this case, it's $1,000 value. It also happens to be the all-time high, 7,002. So I'm expecting a reaction there without a doubt. And then in the event that we hit it, pull back, put in a higher low, and then keep going, you have some very evident reach targets, specifically 7,025. If you happen to be a person riding, there's an aspect of like being patient and seeing if a trend can play out. But then there's a point where you're actually playing against math. So like I understand of saying, okay, I want to see 7,000. And if it puts in a higher low, I'll continue to ride. If it breaks down, I'm going to get out. But on that re-break, the second or third test of 7,000, it's at a certain point above 7,025, above 7,030. Now you're just being greedy. There's certain points where you're like, okay, I'm patient. I'm being a trend following trader. And then there's other times where you're straight up being greedy, and you're straight up being greedy when you're already breaking multiple levels. So like the max on me for me today would be SPX 7,025 or 30. That would be the max. But I also appreciate the fact that we could just get hard rejected at 7,000. Do you use HTF pivots for targets? Higher time frame? Sometimes. I like and I explained this better in the Discord, and maybe I should make independent videos. My framework on the overall market is you are given every single day various puzzle pieces. So something like highs and lows on higher time frames, that's a piece of the puzzle. Another piece of the puzzle is, okay, where are big positions currently in the market? Because especially if the rise is 0DT, that's another piece. Another piece is the flow. Another piece is the Bayesian probabilities of, did we overextend on ATR too much? So higher time frames, yes, that is important. But it's not the only thing you should care about. In my opinion, not only do you want to care about recent highs and lows, because people commonly react to them, you want to know the big money positioning. You want to look at the gamma map. Depending on the time of the day, you might want to look at the charm map to see how stuff is going to decay. You're going to want to look at the flow. Is the flow increasing, decreasing? So I do use them, but it's by no means the exhaustive list of what I use, because I think it's useful, but once again, that's a piece to the overall puzzle. Oh, I almost deprived you guys of me making money. That would be, what kind of streamer would I be if I didn't show you how much money dude, if this fucking turns right here at 79.25, brother, we're going to have problems. This is taking no fucking way. No. This is why people get punched, honestly. You know those videos when there's like sometimes randomly assaults on the street? I'm starting to understand the mindset of those assaulters now. Of just sometimes, like, that's a fucking joke, right? That has to be a joke. Oh, brother. It has to be a joke. No way, dude. No way, brother. It's gonna go. K-Foy, if it does not go, you are forever banned from chat. K-Foy03 says it's gonna go. You're either permanently banned from chat or you're gonna get a gold star for the day. You are now in a high risk, high reward situation. I will give you to 11:10. You have 5 minutes and change. You have 6 minutes. You have until 11:10. K-Foy, your life in our community is at risk. But you also might get to add a gold star to your collection. You are getting until 11:10 a.m. like Sneeko, New York. Was that real? I saw a video of Sneeko getting just punched in the face. MNQ hit 180 to the tick. That's MNQ. I'm trading NQ because, once again, I'm not a pussy. All right, K-Foy, you've officially used up 1 minute of your time. You have 5 minutes left. K-Foy, you better start calling your rich friends to get them to start buying. I don't know what to tell you, but it's got to get going. K-Foy. K-Foy. You're going the wrong way, brother. 4.5 minutes left. Maybe we need a song to help with this. Oh, wait, we listened to that one. Oh, we got a little Toby Kohrs will help us out here. I'm going to help out K-Foy. We're at the point in the show where I just start playing music to pump the market.
I had a beat up jar with some shaky lines drawn. Pre-market buzz and the futures were on. First couple trades hit clean right out the gate. Man, I knew it was on.
K-Foy.
Traders in a Discord call yelling, this one's it. Watch the candles all stacking wins. Didn't think we'd fall. Just riding that wave too long. And we spent what little bit of money we had on cheap commissions and a risky plan. Click, buy fast, don't think, just act. If you're lucky, you can catch a runner to the top of the map where the whole damn screen turns green like magic. Every ticker hitting nothing.
It's going the wrong way, K-Foy.
Three
3 minutes.
Couldn't lose, I ain't lose. Bit a fast mover on a low flow play, hit a hawk, came back double same day, turn one in a 10 in a single trade. Yeah, you know that's the truth. Damn, you know it. Still spending what little bit of money we had. Now it's margin calls, we ain't scared to add. Click, buy fast, don't think, just act. If you're lucky, you can catch it running through the ceiling like that, where the whole damn screen turns green like magic. Every ticker hitting nothing, looking tragic. Feels like yesterday, even though that was 1,600 green days ago. Spending what little bit of money we had, turned it into stacks we ain't never had. Go load it up, let it ride like that. Don't look back, just double the stack. Where the market gods do they damage. Every play hitting, yeah, we planned it. Feels like right now, even though that was 1,500 green days ago.
Well, K-Foy, you have 60 seconds left for this to move 35 points, and it's only trending
Girl,
down.
you used to open strong every morning. Had me believing you were something important.
Looks like maybe you get a bounce here.
Love at first sight. Yeah, you pull me in slow, then you wreck me over.
K-Foy.
I kept buying dips like you turn it around. Kept defending you when you kept letting me down. Every day I told myself just hold tight, but you kept on bleeding me dry every night. Yeah, you took my
K-Boy, final words, please.
Had me staring at you all damn night, but there's one thing you ain't taking from me. You can take my sleep, you can take my peace, take every dollar you ever took from me.
Bad luck, K-Foy. All right, I'm feeling generous today. How can we let him double or nothing this? Obviously, a gold star is off of... It's not going to happen. How can we... We could either just annihilate him now. We could guillotine him now, and he could be completely done. Or we could give him a level for redemption. Show mercy. How? What's a fair way? Like, it can't be 180 anymore. Does it have to be a break of like 200 or maybe an all-time high? Or like, what's a way that we could let him redeem it? There's no more gold star, but now the limit has to be higher. No time limit. That's not fair. The time limit was there for a family. Ban his family too. Sorry, I just read that. We have to raise the limit for him. How do we do it? What's a fair one? Pick a number of 1 to 10. If he's off by 2, he's gone. Okay, how about this? We're past the time. If it hits 180, we'll leave it to a coin flip. So not only does it still have to hit 180 at some point in today's trading session, ideally soon, because I do have shit to do at noon, but that just then opens up his 50-50 opportunity for a coin flip. He has to pay $10,000. I think that's fair. We'll give him one little sliver of hope. Not only does he have to be right that it will hit at some point in today's session before noon, because I have to leave by noon, but then it just triggers a coin flip. I feel like that's fair. K-Foy, brother, they fucked you again, dude. They're out for K-Foy. This isn't even to me. This isn't even personal against me. All right. K-Foy, it locked in. Unfortunately, you're 2 minutes late. Unfortunately, you are, in fact, 2 minutes late. So I'm going to give you a shot. I'm trying to be as nice as I can. I'm trying to be as nice as I can. All right, K-Foy, what do you want? Heads or tails? I'll even let you pick. What do you want, K-Foy? Heads or tails? I'm trying to give you a 50-50 shot here. No, Matt, you were 2 minutes early. I could have given him to 11:15. News, dude, that's not important right now. Right now, what's important is K-Foy's life. Right now, the only thing that is important is K-Foy's life. Let him pick after? No, he has to pick heads or tails. Marble race for his life. A marble race like me versus K-Foy for his life? Is that a better way to do it? A Matt Kohrs versus K-Foy? Maybe not me. Maybe like a death marble. We'll have a death marble and a K-Foy marble. He left? What? Did he leave? Wait, why can't I tag anyone in chat? Did he actually leave? He couldn't take the pressure? I guess he self-murdered? He suicided himself? Well, all right. Let's say heads he dies, tails he lives. He would have lived! Dude, he would have lived! Wow. You hate to see it. He had a shot. If only. Dude, he self-unalived. And he would have been fine. He would have been fine. It's a tough one. Wait, Seth banned him, actually? Wait, Seth, did you fucking ban him? Seth is our wild one. No way did Seth actually ban him. Did he? Dude, my mods are running amok. Oh, that would be sad. That would be sad. This guy could have lived the entire time. No, he's not banned. I can see him. He's not banned. Poor guy. Poor guy. He would have... Fucking Seth. Poor K-Foy. Poor everyone involved. Think about how I feel, you know? Just all this blood on my hands for no reason. We're running for 7,000. Okay. I'm still trading the uncapped ones. Dude, I just want to lock in at 200 and call it a day. Dude, I want to go for another walk today. It's 80 degrees. It's fucking sunny. This is probably... no, okay. I can't think like that. I want to walk. I want vitamin D. I don't want to be so fucking pasty white. I'm a fat, pasty fucking loser. I'm a walking goddamn bag of mayonnaise. I can't have that anymore. I know it's probably going to be a trending day, but if I lock this in now... I'm good. I made a shitload of money. I've once again proven why I'm the best prop firm trader in the entire world. I'll just lock this in. Extra $400 on the 7 accounts. I can't, you know, there's always tomorrow. I want to take the walk, and I can't be as confident as I was yesterday to let it do its own thing because of the all-time high. Because I'm looking at 200, which I do see sellers there. But really what I'm watching is this. We're almost at 7,000, and there could be a 20, like it might keep going, but there might be a 20-point hit first. So from a risk reward perspective, I don't want to sweat it out. I have shit to do. I want to go for a walk. I'm happy to take this at 200 if it hits. And like I said, I already locked in these. I maxed out at 3.5. I'm already done with these. I passed that test. And on these ones, they're all uncapped. So I guess... I don't know. Should I move my stop up somewhere? I guess I could move the stop up. But then that would make me a bitch. Oh, I like this song.
Red lines in my mind. I just leave them there. I don't even care. Holding up a flare. I could use a prayer. I got cash in my pocket. I'm barely alive.
Yeah. Don't know why, but it feel like my world is crashing down. I just bought that dip, now it's smashing down. How much margin did it take to get this flashing now? I lose a piece of my soul every time the chart flashes. So I'm asking every trader that's watching my passion, thinking I'm lost in the fashion or forgot my captions. Understand I'm just a dropout with a Bloomberg habit. I used to screenshot dreams, now I panic by habits. Me and my boy back at that desk, no rest, we mapping, right in place, down on napkins, charts so small, we shared a tablet. Look what happened, I got cash in my pocket, and nothing but time. All these trades in the closet, red lines in my mind. I just leave them there, I don't even care now. Holding up a flare, I could use a prayer. Holding up a flare, I could use a prayer. I got cash in my pocket, but I'm barely alive. Don't know how I get so high, but I'm not cashing out. Hope my gains are in my blood, I don't pass them. I hope I'm
I'm allowed to see the market cool as rats somehow. Cause Powell said inflation and it's crashing now. Yeah, my first reaction was to punch that desk till it cracked. My portfolio shattered, don't ask where I'm at. I've been battling the fact, my greed turned savage. The only thing the chart asked was for me to manage, but I hung up too fast, went to sleep in denial. Lost more in one night than I made in a while. We all needed second chances, but I bottled my sadness. Guess I'm just happy that I didn't sell before the madness. Like I cash in my pocket and nothing but time. All these shirts in the closet, red lines in my mind. I just leave them there, I don't even care, no. Holding up a flare, I could use a prayer roll. Holding up a flare, I could use a prayer roll. I got cash in my pocket, I'm barely alive. I think I'm ready to ride tonight. It's wild cause I ain't lived half my life. Saw the market crash, you whispered by. I said you tryna short my afterlife, but I don't even care. You can keep me there, yeah. Holding up a flare, I needed a prayer, yeah. I got cash in my pocket, but I'm barely alive. I got cash in my pocket and nothing but time. All these trades in the closet, red lines in my mind. Holding up a flare, I could use a prayer. I could use a prayer. Woke up late, hit the bell, markets open, straight to hell. Leverage high, nerves are fried, but I'm in too deep to bail. Charts are bleeding, red tsunami, bought the dip, hello tsunami. One more contract, double down, now I'm hanging by a thread. I was chasing tickets like they owe me rent. Now the broker's knocking, saying pay your debt. I was dominating, but my hands got wrecked, and my P&L looks like a fucking mess. I was one bad trade from a margin call meltdown. Lost it all fast, now I'm spiraling down, 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 down. One dumb bet, now I'm out of the game. But I'll be back next week, still ain't learned a thing. Took a loan, maxed the bet, thought I'd ride that rocket jet. Now my balance looking like a post-crash cigarette. Saw the news, bought the hype, should've known it's all a grift. Now I'm baggled in the stock like it's my only Christmas gift. Tried to hedge, got wrecked, tried to pivot, lost the bet. Took a swing, caught a knife, now I'm drowning in regret. Told myself I'll play it smart, just one more and then I'm through. Now I'm outside in the rain, screaming please just break even, dude. I was chasing tickers like they owe me rent. Now the broker's knocking, saying pay your debt. I was dominating, but my hands got wrecked, and my P&L looks like a fucking mess. I was one bad trade from a margin call meltdown. Lost it all fast, now I'm spiraling down, 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 down. One dumb bet, now I'm out of the game. But I'll be back next week, still ain't learned a thing.
I really thought that was going to be. I thought margin call meltdown would send us up.
Does your memory glitch when I'm in the red? Do my losses taste like things skin thins. You laughed when I said this felt like war, but still check the screen before the door. You love to say I live too fast, but you only stayed when the trades would last. Your fingers trace my losses slow. Said you're addicted like I didn't know, but you stayed anyway. Why is that? Just like the high of being attacked. You timed your love like a breakout fake. All signals, no soul, just give and take. You like the version of me who smiled, the one who slept, the one in denial. Do you only love me when I'm green? Not the wreck beneath the P&L screen. Would you stay through a drawn out bleed? Or are you just here for the dopamine? Do you only call when the charts divine, but duck out when I lose the line? Am I a man or just momentum? Would you even love the real sum? You smile like a knife when the lights are low. Every word you sell is a lie you own. You fed on my doubt, called it helping. Now choke on the truth you can't spit back out.
Order filled.
America! America! Dude. There's not one fucking poser in this game who even comes to the close to the level of trader I am. Every other fucking trader, wannabe, influencer, everyone is rushing for second. There's not a single fucking person in this game who is even close to what I can pull off day in and day out. Everyone else, all those guys you're watching, they're all in my DMs asking me how I do what I do. Everyone, yeah, maybe some of these fucking shill themselves out to do this or that for marketing, but when it comes down to pure trading, no one's even close. No one's even close to what we pull off in the Goonie community. Not even. Like, they wish. Dude, they're all DMing me. They're all asking me, Matt, how do you do it? Can you sell me your system? Can you teach me a little bit? And they're all trying to cosplay as a marketer. Well, they're all trying to cosplay as a trader in a marketing world. I'm here just as a trader fucking off in their little world. Like, this is crazy. It's absolutely crazy to think that anyone's even close to this. Absolutely crazy. All right, let's load up the photo. Let's see how much we extracted from the market today. What's the PNL? All right, that's it for the day. Pour one out for K-Foy. Pour one out for K-Foy. What's the PNL? We're working. Total realized PNL, $44,000. So 44K, mainly on, here, let's do this. Indicators. I want to show you the proper indicators. We're going to remove this, apply, okay. Indicators. So yes, made 44,000 as you saw, but then I just want to show you, well, hang on, we don't need that. What we do need is show trades. This is a little indicator I built up. Okay. So here are the trades on the day. Crushed it. Long at 951, sold the first chunk 41 points, sold the second joint 151 points, made 193 points for 3.8K, all done live, managed live, explained live, monitored live, and we did it with some awesome music in the background. Did I top ticket? Yeah, probably, because I'm that fucking good. That's why. That's why I do it, because I'm the best at this game. Look at that. I'm the best at it. Like, who's even close? No one's even possibly close to it. So there you are, 44K locked in, 3.8K on 7 of my accounts, 3.4K on the other ones. These are all funded, trading 12 funded accounts. So pretty much all pure, like, actual profit. Keeping up a really solid streak on the week. Crushed it Monday, crushed it Tuesday, crushed it today. So I guess in hindsight, I wish I had all those Lucid accounts and the FFN accounts to trade on. But nonetheless, frozen out on some of them. I should have some more tomorrow. I should be going live with Lucid any of these moments, but who the hell knows? Same with FFN, maybe going live with them, and just waiting on the other ones. But hey, I'll trade what I can. I'll trade it to the best of my ability. And today, the day is turning up, Matt. Before I let you guys go, of course, if you want to trade with me, learn from me, GoonieTrading.com. And if you feel like buying a TPT account today and you want to show your boy a little bit of love, don't forget to use that code Goonie. It will get you 40% off and no activation fee. I really like TPT and actually all the flex tradeifys because there's no consistency rule. So if you have a runner, you can actually let it run, which is why I was able to let these run a little extra $400 than the Legends, which I stop at 35%. So I'm done for the day. I did trade some options. Did that even lock in? No, it didn't, but it almost locked in. We almost got there. So the Discord knows about that. I traded futures with you. I'm done trading futures for the day because why potentially risk a good thing, you know? But anyway, I appreciate the good vibes. I had a good day. I honestly deeply hope you guys did even better. I hope you murdered it. I hope you annihilated it. I hope you made a buttload. You know what? 2 buttloads of money. Hope you guys crushed it. I deeply do appreciate all the good vibes. Thank you. We'll be posting some content again today. We'll be posting some shorts and some videos and whatnot. And then we'll be streaming once again tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., bright and early. I hope to see you there. Peace.